Okay, this video should be called "If I Run AG1's Emails, I'd Make Them $5.5 million more in 30 days. Here's why. They are making, according to ChatGPT, $50 million per month, right? So if we run the numbers here, they're making $50 million per month. I'm assuming their email revenue is 30%, because at that stage it's harder to sustain high email revenue. And we are saying we can get them to 40% of sales coming from email, right? So that will mean for them an extra uplift of $5.5 million. And how to actually generate that extra revenue through email, we're going to do that in a second. But first, who am I? I am Matt Pirelli, founder of Email Engineers. We are an agency that helps 7- and 8-figure e-commerce brands generate more revenue with email marketing. We've made over $40 million in email revenue, specifically through Klaviyo. And most importantly, for our clients, we generate emails that convert up to 10 times higher than their competitors. So what you are seeing here is a screenshot from Klaviyo, and they say they give you a rank comparing to your peers, right? For all of the important email metrics. The most important ones are conversion rates and revenue per recipient. So as you can see, our clients are generating 10 times more revenue than the average, than their competitors. So that is how we can scale their email marketing above the 30% to 40, 45, even 50% of total revenue. And we do that across multiple verticals, multiple industries, and across flows, and also campaigns, welcome series, thank you, post-purchase series, and so on. Our emails convert higher, and you will see exactly why in this video and how it helps brands like yours scale email revenue to 47% of total sales or 43% of total sales, right? So back to AG1 now. In case you're not familiar with them, they sell a greens powder supplement, right? It's probably the most expensive one in the market right now, but they've been in business for, I think, 10 years now, and they are definitely the #1 competitor in the space. So here's how this video is gonna go like. First, we are breaking down, it's just going to take us a few minutes, their ad strategy, their landing pages. Why? So our email marketing strategy can be aligned with what they are saying. Because someone who's viewing their ads or coming through a podcast even, they have some expectations in their minds, right? So we have to keep the narrative, keep the same strategy aligned in our email marketing strategy to reinforce what they are already saying. Next, we are reviewing their customer avatar. We have to be very aware of who we are talking to in our emails. Why? So they can resonate. The reason why our emails convert up to 10 times higher than the average is because they speak directly to our client subscribers. We get inside their heads like no other brands do, and so we can send better emails. This is going to be critical, and you will see why in a second. Next, we are reviewing some of their campaigns, what they are doing right, what's wrong, what's missing, giving it a conviction score. And finally, we are reviewing some of the emails my team, Email Engineers, created for AG1. These are high converting emails. You're also going to see why in a second. Now, this video is sponsored by Conviction OS. This is the operating system that we've been using and developing over the years at Email Engineers to create high converting emails. It's 6 simple steps that if you follow them, it increases the odds that you create a high converting emails. It's the 6 steps that we use over and over with our clients. We'll get to that, and I'm also going to explain them in a second. But first, let's review their ads. So this is going to help us understand who they're selling to, what their aesthetics, the vibe is. So this is a meta ads library, literally the ads they're running right now, 110 ads. They're leading here with your gut deserves more.
If a woman took AG1 Next Gen for 90 days, here's how she could feel. In 2 weeks, 80% felt their digestion improved. By month 1,
right, so they're appealing to digestive issues and targeting women.
If a man took AG1 Next,
they are also targeting men.
90 days, here's how he could feel. In 2 weeks, 79% felt less tired after meals. By month 1, 85% reported feeling more.
Feeling off your game. Fuel every round, backed by science. Your gut deserves more. So same copy, different ads.
AG1 Next Gen for 90
UGC ads.
Repping your gut? Try this. Introducing AG1 Next Gen.
All right.
If a man took AG1 Next Gen for 90 days, here's how he could feel. In 2 weeks, 79.
So they're appealing to both men and women, which is natural, because as we will see, marketing is not about demographics, it's about something else. But this
You two, are you interested in health? Can I interest you in over 75 ingredient smoothie? I got a chopper real fine. You got a blender right here.
Right, so this is helping us understand their aesthetic better. Right, so let's see now where they are taking people to. So this is like the new upfront offer. This 5-pack like trial in a way. They are talking about ingredients, clinically backed, benefits, super high level, recommended by top health experts, Andy Hubie, and of course over 50,000 reviews. So with that in mind, I had my team create a quick avatar, like a quick representation of our ideal customer. Again, this is critical if we want to create high converting emails, because the reason an email is high converting is not because it's clever or uses the right subject lines, but because they resonate so much with subscribers. It makes readers realize these guys get me, and if they get me, they probably have the answers to my problems. So we'll get to this in a second. Let's break down this customer avatar, and we like to give this a name. This one is Ryan Keller. Meet Ryan Keller, a 38-year-old husband, father of 2, senior product manager at a fast-growing tech company in Austin, Texas. By day, Ryan leads cross-functional teams and juggles a packed calendar of meetings and deadlines. By night, he's helping with homework, squeezing in a quick Peloton ride, or unwinding with a podcast on performance nutrition. He's health-conscious but realistic. He wants to eat clean and stay active, but life doesn't always cooperate. After years of trying to juggle supplements, green powders, and crash diets, he found AG1 and never looked back. To Ryan, health isn't about chasing six-packs. It's about energy, consistency, and being at his best for the people who count on him. Every morning starts the same: 1 scoop, cold water, and a quiet moment before the chaos begins. So that is all fine, but what really helps us get inside people's heads is their emotional drivers. And so this is a really long document. I don't know if you have the time to go through all of this, but we'll do at least the most important parts, which I highlighted and also commented. By the way, if you want to get this document, comment and leave a comment in the video. I'll link to it. So first, his emotional drivers. He fears that these gaps in nutrition, like skipping veggies or grabbing fast food between meetings, will catch up to him in the form of fatigue or illness. One customer admitted, as someone who doesn't eat many fruits and vegetables, AG1 is a great way to get the nutrients I'm often skipping out, revealing a nagging guilt about their diet shortcomings. So guilt is a powerful emotion. We could lean into that when we create our emails. Deepest fears. He's scared of waking up one day. I don't know why this is using like the she, he, it, LG, TV plus like pronouns, but let's go with they. They're scared of waking up one day with a serious health issue that could have been prevented, or simply feeling old before their time. They fear losing their edge. Whether that means lagging behind workouts, facing a mid-year energy crash at work, or not having stamina for their kids. They've heard success stories, like a customer whose doctors noticed markedly better checkups results after starting AG1, and they desperately want to avoid the opposite outcome. So here's the thing, this type of people buying AG1, the avatar, and we'll get to this in a second, but it's going to reinforce this. This is a type that's investing in prevention. Normally, it's very hard to sell prevention. It's really hard to market prevention because people don't buy prevention, they buy cures. They buy the solution when the problem is already there. No, so normally it's very hard to sell prevention, right? But the flip side is that people who do buy prevention, they are, so to speak, higher IQ people, right? You probably get what I'm saying. They are long-term thinkers, which is super nice. And so this is not necessarily a bad thing. It's something to be aware of when doing marketing. If we try to only appeal to prevention, it's going to be harder. It's going to be more expensive as well. So unless we have a limited budget or deep pockets, it's not recommended. But in turn, we get the best type of customers, right? But there are ways to prevent this, which we are going to address this in a second, to get the best of both worlds. Attract these high IQ type of people, but without having to spend hundreds of dollars on ad spend to acquire a customer. Pain points. Emotionally and psychologically, they feel the pain of burning the candle at both ends in a hectic life. Insecurities and guilt. This is important. This customer is often insecure about their diet and consistency. These insecurities drive them to seek a nutritional insurance to shore up what they feel is their personal shortcoming in diet and wellness. Seek a nutritional insurance, it's a nice angle which we could convey later in our emails. Top daily frustrations. The energy roller coaster, feeling a brain fog during important tasks. Number 2, digestive discomfort. Many customers celebrate that greens powders help them keep regular and improve gut health. Again, this is all just things to keep in mind. Let them macerate, let them build up as we're reading this, so we can then create proper emails. Number 3, top daily frustration. Time crunch for nutrition. Every day they feel the pressure of too little time to cook balanced meals. As one customer put it, my day has not begun until I have my athletic greens. I'm awful at remembering pills, so I love having an option to drink many of them instead. Another powerful angle to use. Urgent hot button crisis. This is what I was saying before. There are ways to turn prevention upside down and turn it into a hot button crisis that should be addressed right now. Because again, we could sell prevention, but it's a very hard sell. So right now, this persona might be facing a mini crisis that's pushed them to act urgently. Perhaps they've hit their mid-30s or 40s, and a recent health scare or blood test was a wake-up call, such as high cholesterol, low vitamins. So that gives us something to lean on when creating our emails to make this purchase feel more urgent. Because the problem nowadays is that this customer is getting bombarded with ads, emails from hundreds of brands, probably thousands of brands. They say you see, I don't know how many thousands of ads per day. So there are hundreds of brands fighting for Ryan's attention. And it's not only about our competitors, but Ryan's attention for, I don't know, any other type of purchase decision he's considering at this point of time. So what we have to do as marketers is appeal to reasons to why, so is to get them to want to buy now, not later, right? So this is where urgent hot button crisis type of angles enter the strategy. Another one, maybe after a period of stress, a big project at work or caring for a new baby, they feel utterly drained and realize they've let themselves go nutritionally. Their energy emergency is palpable. They can't afford to be exhausted or sick when so much is on their plate. This is a powerful bullet. We can lean into this later on. This is powerful because if we can relate to this, being very empathetic about it, and make them realize these guys at AG1 really get me and what I'm going through, if we can get them to feel that way, which is a matter of creating trust, then they're going to trust us to have the solution, which is AG1's, the drink powder. So this is also a powerful bullet. Number one problem they're trying to solve. At its core, this persona is trying to solve the problem of nutrient deficiency in a modern, busy life. So they can feel more energized, healthy, and resilient. The AG1 appeals to them as that all-in-one answer, a shortcut for eating right. So two things here. First is this belief around nutrient deficiency in a modern busy life. If we can reinforce that, the fact that modern life is not meant to be healthy for you, if we can reinforce that in our emails, then and lean into that in our emails, the better. We're making the sale easier for ourselves. Second, a shortcut for eating right. That is also a nice appealing to sloth, a sin, but it works really nice when doing email marketing. That could be a future approach to a campaign. Then negative emotions. Negative emotions sells better than positive emotions. It has been studied plenty of times. So normally it's better to lean into negative emotions when opening the sale for the first time, and then in future sales, in replenishments, lean into more positive emotions. But negative emotions give us a leg up. It's easier because they get more attention easier. It's easier to get attention with negative than positives. Media knows this very well and they even abuse it. Right. So if we are a brand like AG1, which we are not doing as the media does and try to get your attention with negatives just so they can profit from it, but instead if we're selling a product that solves a problem, that makes people, that gives people a better life, then why not rely on negative emotions? That is how I see it, at least. So anger triggers. So the first one is wasting money or being misled. Who they're angry at? They blame themselves for not having the discipline or time to meal prep and eat perfectly. So I leave this comment here. This is the perfect kind of theme that we can lean into later, which is it's not you. Like giving them a relief on the fact that it's not you. Like it's not you are not the problem. It's not that you lack the discipline and that you lack the time to meal prep. It's that modern society is not meant to be healthy, right? It's meant to get you by, whatever it is. But this is something, this is a really nice angle as well. Blame and external enemies. We're looking for causes. They sometimes blame modern lifestyles, long work hours, the convenience of fast food and digital distractions feel like enemies to their well-being. They might keep that the 9-to-5 grind and constant connectivity are robbing them of the balance needed for proper nutrition and rest. So also, this is common enemies, which we can then attack in our emails. When we do that, they trust us more. This is one of the ways to build trust, which we use in our strategy called Conviction OS. Next, we have the internal world. This is also important when creating a strategy because we want to relate to what they're going through and also what's inside their heads at this moment, right? We have to enter the conversation already taking place inside their minds. So core values, at their core, our AG1 customer values health, vitality, and self-improvement. They truly believe health is wealth and see taking care of their body as an investment, not an expense. Again, powerful angle. This aligns with their respect for personal responsibility. They feel it's on them, not doctors or pills later, to maintain their well-being. Again, this is another powerful belief to reinforce and align with. If they're a parent or have loved ones, family becomes a core value too. They want to be healthy so they can be there and set a good example. So these are all ideas we can lean into when creating our emails. This is how to create high converting emails, right? It's not that you grab the product and talk about how good it is. That is the product focused approach. It's the opposite. It's the customer focused approach. It always starts with the customer. And so all that we're doing right here help us do that. And so it helps us create high converting emails. Next, aspirations and desires. What this persona wants more than anything is consistent, sustained vitality. Right? That doesn't tell us anything yet, but they dream of waking up every day feeling energetic, clear-headed, and on their game without needing half a pot of coffee. Okay, now that's better. That's specific. Now, these are the type of insights that we are looking for, right? If we said on our emails, a serving of AG1 a day helps you with sustained vitality, which is a super type of common email to receive nowadays. It really says nothing. It's super abstract. It's not concrete. Instead, this is specific. It's more specific. So the more specific, the better, because we win a place inside their heads. Sustained vitality means nothing. So it just enters to one eye and comes out of the other. And that is not good if we want to create high converting emails. Each word has to fight for its place, and sustained vitality certainly loses. They desire the confidence that comes with taking care of themselves, maybe even to the point where friends ask, how do you have so much energy? That's also a possible idea or sentiment to relate to later on. They also crave simplicity in their health routine. Yes, super important. They don't want to juggle 10 different pills and superfood concoction. It stresses them out. Why? Because they don't have the time to do it anyway. They have better things to do. And they're willing to pay a premium for that. Don't forget about it. Okay, biggest worries. If we can help them get rid of these worries, then we are winning the sale. So their worries, despite their protective stance or persona carries a lot of worries. They frequently worry about not doing enough, not eating enough greens, not getting enough sleep, not hitting the gym often enough. So that is a common theme as well. And if we can align AG1 with this lens of getting them to, okay, agree, it's hard to get your greens every single day, but then ally that fear, we're winning the sale. Beliefs and ideologies. Many are fans of thought leaders like Peter Attia or Andrew Huberman, who blend science with practical health tips. This helps us know what they already have, the ideas they already have in their heads. So we can lean into those ideas and align our product with that, rather than try to go against Peter Attia or Andrew Huberman, which we know they take for granted as the gods of nutritional advice, health advice. It will be really hard to fight against that. We rather lean into that. More universally, they hold a quasi-spiritual belief in treat your body like a temple, whether through meditation, nature hikes, or just a morning ritual with a green drink. They find meaning and calm in caring for themselves. Another powerful bullet right here. Self-perception, right versus wrong. Internally, this persona sees themselves as a problem solver and a researcher. They pride themselves on being the friend who has done the homework on the best protein powder or the most efficient workout, and so on. So again, we have to lean into this idea. You are the problem solver and a researcher. So here's what research says about blah blah blah. They sometimes do things wrong while thinking it's right. Again, powerful strategy to use is things that they are doing wrong which they think they are right. If we can show them, if we can demonstrate, if we can teach them or make them become aware of these things, then they're going to trust us to have the answer. A good example, they might have believed that taking a multivitamin and a fiber supplement was enough to cover their health needs, until they still feel tired and realize they were missing synergy and consistency. Super powerful to lean on. Or they might think that skipping meals to cut calories was a good idea, not realizing it left them undernourished. Routines they follow that might be flawed. Another powerful angle includes over-relying on caffeine for energy or doing intense workouts on poor nutrition. They assumed sheer willpower was enough, but learned the hard way it is not. We have like 5 powerful emails in just this one paragraph. So this one is actually golden. For instance, upon learning that proprietary blends hide ingredients dosages, they became more skeptical on supplement labels. This is a powerful angle to use. Maybe we're going to use this in the email that we create. Behavior and decision making. Yes, they trust Andrew Huberman, Tim Ferriss, Peter Attia, or Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. Past attempts and failures. This is going to help us relate to their past experiences in our emails. It's going to make them realize we are like them. This persona has tried a lot of things in their health journey with mixed success. And there are plenty of options. There are plenty here. I'm not going to read through all of them. Common objections, super important to address in our email, specifically in flows, which are more bottom of funnel. To check out abandonment flow, browse abandonment flow even. When considering AG1, they certainly have objections. The biggest one is price. Of course, we have to definitely address that, like the elephant. Another mental hurdle was skepticism. Do greens powder actually do anything, or is it just influencer hype? They saw some skeptical voices calling it overpriced grass powder and saying eat real veggies. So that is a nice angle as well to use in an email, like when eat your veggies isn't enough, or why eat your veggies is bad advice, something like that. Online and purchase behavior. They might have even looked up some of the science behind key ingredients. This is the kind of person who knows what ashwagandha or probiotics are supposed to do, at least at a high level. So again, we have to keep this in mind when writing our emails, right? Not talk down to them, but the opposite. After reading emails, they feel like they kind of learn something, like they are smarter. It doesn't have to be every email, of course, but every few emails or so. So just to back up their decision, so they feel smarter. Awareness stage. This is critical. If we fail to appeal to the right awareness stage, I'm going to explain what it means in a second. If we fail to address the right awareness stage, our emails simply won't convert at all. So awareness stages are 5, it goes from unaware to most aware. So unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and then most aware. For example, for AG1, someone who's unaware is someone who doesn't realize they have low energy, right? Assuming that that's the problem we are appealing to, low energy. So they don't realize they have low energy. They feel something is off. Like maybe they think that the afternoon slump is normal, right? So they, in their minds, they don't have a problem. Then they become problem aware when they see their friends that have like high energy all throughout the day, but they don't. So or someone tells them like, why are you looking so tired? It's only 3 p.m., right? They become problem aware. Then they start looking for solutions. There are plenty of solutions for low energy. Energy drinks, energy powders, supplements, vitamins, then drink powders. It's another one. Then there are plenty of solutions for low energy. Energy drinks, sleeping, which is a whole category on itself, vitamins, supplements, tea, coffee, plenty of options, right? So they become solution aware. Okay, there are all these different solutions that exist. Then when they double down on one of those solutions, says it's a drink powder, then when they double down on any of those solutions, says it's a greens powder, they become product aware and they start shopping for multiple greens powder, right? AG1 is one of them. And after they've made their research, they become most aware. They know exactly what AG1 has, why it's the best, pros and cons, all of that. So if our emails fail to appeal to the right awareness stage someone is in, it's not going to resonate at all. And this is one of the most common problems that I see in email marketing, one of the most common problems that makes brands' emails convert so low, and which is why our emails sometimes convert 10 times higher than average than our clients' competitors. It's because of this, because we know which awareness stage to appeal to. So for example, if we were sending an email that's appealing to a problem aware stage, right? And we are selling them on our solution, on drinks, on greens powder, right? As the solution to low energy. But actually these customers are coming from Google Ads, and they type best greens powder, right? That means they already made up their minds that they need a greens powder supplement, right? So we don't need to sell them on that idea. If we send an email, for example, a campaign, or inside our welcome sequence, an email that talks about that tries to sell them on greens powder as a solution, right? That email is not going to do anything to move the sales forward because they already realized that. They already made up their minds on that side. What they are missing here is reasons why AG1 is the best greens powder. So it's a completely different sale. So unless we are targeting the right awareness stage, we won't do anything to move the sale forward. This is one of the main reasons why most brands' email marketing fail. They appeal to the wrong awareness stage. And finally, we have the demographics and identity. Now, I left this one, we leave this section as the last one, and it's for very intentional reasons. So far, as you've realized, we know exactly who our customer is, right? We don't need to say that they make this much income, or that they are in their 30s or 40s, or that they live here or there, because we know something way more important. We know their fears, their wants, their motivations to buy, their emotions, what they're going through, their objections, their questions that they have in their minds. All of that is 10 times more important than the demographics, that how old they are, whether they are male or female. Again, I mentioned at the beginning, it really doesn't matter. Their demographics, the gender, really does not matter much, because what matters more is all of these that we just went through. But of course, we have to keep this in mind to some extent when writing our emails, knowing who exactly we're talking to. But this demographics without psychographics, which is all of this, is useless, right? Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm having my team create 2 emails, 2 high converting emails for AG1. Then we'll get to that in a second. We are reviewing first some of AG1's current email campaigns, giving them a conviction score, and then coming back to this, to the emails my team create tomorrow, okay? See you in a second. We are back. A little DC first. This one my team created. We also have a text-based email coming, which I really like. But first, let's go back and see the type of emails that AG1 is sending right now. And keep in mind whether it is aligning with this avatar, with Ryan Keller. Are these emails speaking to him? We'll see. First, we have health starts from within. Healthy inside, brighter outside. Okay, so this clearly appeals to our women audience, but still. Call to action, start from within. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Foundational nutrition impacts everything. Start AG1 and feel the benefits of supporting your inner health every day. Okay, so I'll leave my comments in a second. Real stories, real transformation. Thousands have transformed their health with AG1. From less gas and bloating to boost energy, the results speak for themselves. Okay, so a couple things. Actually, more than a couple things. I call these type of emails email billboards. You could literally print this into a billboard somewhere and run it, right? So they feel like disconnected. So that's one thing about billboard emails. The second thing is that this doesn't mean anything. It's just saying things, making claims. Foundational nutrition impacts everything. It's super vague. It's not concrete at all. So I don't think our boy Ryan here is reading this email and nodding, yes, foundational nutrition impacts everything. Absolutely. Start AG1 and feel the benefit of supporting your inner health every day. Supporting your inner health. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? If it's not immediately clear, then it means nothing. It's not doing nothing to move the cells forward. Next, we have this, real stories, real transformation. But there are no stories here. It just this is the end of the email. Thousands have transformed their health with AG1. And there's a guy running. So these are like billboards, right? You could run to grab someone's attention, drive them to a page and sell them there. But it's not doing anything to move the sales forward. It's not building much desire either. It's just there. Healthy inside, brighter outside. Like they asked ChatGPT to make it catchy. I don't know. It's not much. It's not too convincing. Let's see the next one. Or 2024. Yeah, this is like a unique. Last chance to get a free bottle of omega-3. We're running a promo here. A spring boost for your wellness ritual. Subscribe now to receive a free welcome kit plus a free bottle of omega-3. So it's an offer-based email. What's included? One small addition to your ritual can amplify your wellness journey. At this stage, I don't know whether they are doing this for FDA's concerns. Maybe they are doing this on purpose. They think that being vague on purpose is going to help them with the FDA to prevent making strong claims and things like that. Problem with that is that I think they went too far here and they are just writing sentences that mean nothing. One small addition to your ritual. Is this like a cult? Why ritual can amplify your wellness journey? Amplify your wellness journey is as unspecific as it gets. And the less specific, the less it resonates with a reader, the less effect it has on someone's mind. Reading something like this, one small addition to your ritual can amplify your wellness journey, enters through one eye, comes out of the other. Doesn't do anything to move the sales forward. Anything. So they could have just skipped that. What is, of course, leading the sale here is the offer, right? Anyway, another offer email. Consolidate your cabinet, okay? Consolidate your cabinet. So is this like an email from a furniture assembly service? We don't know. Simple fact, AG1 costs less than $3 a day. Yeah, I guess so. Reinforce your wellness routine. Multivitamin, probiotics, stress adaptogens, superfoods, functional mushrooms, antioxidants, whole body benefits, all in one scoop. Again, what is anything here supposed to mean? AG1 costs less than $3 a day. Yes, that is a fact. That is a logical piece of information. Problem is, we make our decisions with emotions and justify them using logic. And this is not entering the emotional part of the brain at all. It's not penetrating. So this is just a fact, right? And it doesn't do much to move the sales forward. AG1 costs less than $3 a day. So what? It's not passing this so what rule of thumb. It's just a sentence thrown out. Reinforce your wellness routine. Reinforce your wellness routine. Again, hopefully you can also perceive the lack of specificity here. What is reinforce your wellness routine supposed to mean? What is, for someone, for Ryan, right here, we already went through all of their problems, their insecurities, their emotions, what he's going through. And then we read this, reinforce your wellness routine. We know he's a dad. We know he has time constraint issues. We know that he's looking for a quick alternative to get rid of, to have peace of mind, and so on. So reinforce your wellness routine means nothing to him, nothing at all. And then whole body benefits, all in one scoop. Again, whole body benefits. I think they are mocking us at this point with this sentence, whole body benefits, because what are the benefits? What do you mean whole body? Is it making my Johnson any bigger? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I can't tell just from this sentence alone. It is not resonating at all. Again, entering into one eye, coming out of the other, straight away. And it might very well be an email from a furniture assembly service. A daily health drink packed with nutrition. Okay, at least means something. Good gut days ahead. AG1's pre and probiotic supports healthy digestion, alleviate bloating, and helps keep things moving smoothly, so you can feel better from the inside out. Help keep things moving smoothly, so you can feel better. At least this is somewhat more concrete. You handshake your gut. So at least they're targeting a specific problem now, which is gut health and keep things moving smoothly, so to speak. But I don't know about you, but for me it still feels too logical. It might not get someone to care about, right? So remember ADA, most simple, straightforward, yet proven, like time-tested foundational framework in advertising and marketing. Get their attention, create interest, create desire, get action. So this, I will say, is failing step one, getting people's attention. And if you fail that, you cannot move through all of the other steps. You cannot get their interest. much less create desire, much less get action. So what they're missing here is a problem of getting people's attention and the interest. You create interest by being more specific, right? They are at least one step closer here with this, your gut. This is clearly targeted again to the women audience. But if we say, for example, AG1 provides probiotics and prebiotics to nourish your microbiome and help you feel your best. The first part feels too logical, help you feel your best. That could be a whole email on itself about what feeling best actually means. Because again, this still doesn't pass the so what test. Like, so what? Nourish my microbiome. So what? So it's not convincing at all. Last one. Which one? You pick. Research studied continuously improved, a healthy way to go green, or one scoop for a healthier you. You. There's an exclamation point. So let's see. Research studied continuously improved. That immediately tells me there's going to be a sales pitch inside. A healthy way to go green doesn't say much. Like, healthy and green are already paired together. One scoop for a healthier you. Let's check that one. 75 ingredients, one simple scoop. This is nicer, at least. 75 ingredients, one simple scoop. Would be even better if we have the 75 ingredients, like the actual ingredients in physical form, rather than just words, but at least it's kind of better. Just one scoop a day contains 75 high-quality vitamins, probiotics, and whole food sourced ingredients that support whole body health. So what? Again, all of these emails feels too logical, and that is a problem because it's not getting people to care. It's not getting people's attention or interest, so you cannot create desire. Get people to want to buy AG1 more. This email is just out there. Then we have why every ingredient matters, vitamins and minerals, digestive support, stress adaptogens, antioxidants, get AG1 now, sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrient density. Again, this is a billboard, right? Same as this, but this is nicer. Thing is, this is just throwing benefits out there, and every single other supplement brand is doing the same. I mean, that is the minimum, right? Any brand has to do at this point, but because every single other brand is doing the same, doesn't do much to get attention and create interest, much less create desire. So it's just there. Any brand can slap this part of the email, this section, why every ingredient matters, into their own emails. And so because of that, they don't do much. They are not specific, they are not unique. And if any brand can do it, then most brands are, and subscribers are already used to seeing this in their email. So they don't do much for sales, which is a problem. It's a huge problem. And then we have this billboard right here, which, by the way, sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrient density. We could have a whole email on this idea, and that will do something to move the sales forward. This is not doing anything at all. Source for absorption, potency, and nutrient density means nothing, right? We could have a whole email that proves this, because how this is presented right here is just making claims, right? We could have a whole email that supports this and breaks down, most importantly, why this matters. Why should we focus on absorption? Why on potency and nutrient density? Why is that important? How does that affect our boy Ryan here? He doesn't know. So that is a huge problem. So with that in mind, let's give their emails a conviction score. We have two categories, foundation and execution. Foundation covers the basics of Conviction OS. Conviction OS is an operating system that let us create high converting emails time and time again. If you follow the 6 steps, you come out of the other way with a high converting emails. That is the purpose of Conviction OS. And so there are 6 steps. We have only 5 steps here. The first one, which is in another video, it's choosing the right segment to send the emails to, but we can skip that here. And let's break down each of the 5 steps here. First, we have the offer. The offer is what someone is buying. So what someone is receiving in exchange for their money. So as far as offers, every single email here, except for one, I think, or two, promoted AG1 as a whole. And then we have a few that promoted the free Omega kit with a welcome kit offer. That's a good offer, right? That's a really good offer because the perception people have on a bottle of omega-3 is way more than the actual cost, right? So if it costs us, for example, $2 to source that bottle of omega-3, right? But it has a perceived value of, say, $20. Rather than just doing what most brands do and say, yeah, give 10% off, which with their average order value will equate to, I don't know, get, let's say, $15 off, right? The average order value is 150. We give 10% off. We are essentially giving away $15 in margin, right? We're losing $15 per sale, but we are carrying a customer. Fine. Problem with that is that this offer, get 10% off, is not as appealing as get a free bottle of omega-3 plus the welcome kit plus all of that, which this bottle is essentially just $2. So in this case, we're giving away $15 and we have an inferior offer, which doesn't grab people's attention as much as omega-3. So this is cheaper and gets people attention. So it's a more appealing offer. It's a better offer, right? So I will give them an 8 right here. Then awareness, which if you recall is this whole section right here. We already discussed why is it so important to target the right awareness stage right here, and what the awareness stages are right here. So if a brand is targeting the wrong awareness stage, the emails won't do anything at all. So in this case, they should be targeting a product aware stage. So people searching for other greens supplements, or a solution aware stage. But most of their time should be spent on the product aware stage. 80% of the emails should target this stage. And a smaller percentage, the most aware stage, assuming people are ready to buy, in which case what they are missing is a good offer, something like that. So targeting the product aware stage. Now, most of the emails did target the product aware stage. If you recall this, for example, this is making people feel better about buying AG1 over another drink supplement, right? It should. I mean, let's forget for a second all that we discussed here already and why this is billboard emails and don't say anything, but at least they're targeting the right awareness stage. So most email did, like this one. Basically what I'm seeing here is that it's not about selling drinks. It's not about selling a greens supplements as a category, because people already are sold into that idea. So it's not about that. Although, well, this section is kind of selling the benefits of greens as a whole, not much of AG1. So it's kind of mixed, right? These go 1 through 10, by the way. So I'm giving them a 6 right here. We could have more emails like this one, for example, and less, which we didn't discuss, but less that sell greens as a whole, because they're most likely bought into that idea. Again, depends on where they're acquiring most of their customers through, which from what I know, it's influencers. And so when they do their ad reach, they are selling them they already sold on the benefits of greens, right? And so what they're shopping now is for different greens alternatives. AG1 is one of them. Anyway, they get a 6 out of 10. Sentiment. So we've heard it thousands of times already. We make our decisions with emotions and justify them using logic. And if we don't make that first emotional appeal, then the sale won't happen. We have to get customers, readers, subscribers sold emotionally first, then logically. But if you recall, most of these emails were hyper-logical. They only appeal to logic to try and win the sale. And we could say that, no, but this guy is different. This guy is logical, right? So Ryan is a different, Ryan is an alien. He's hyper-logical. Problem is that there's no hyper-logical people. I think only, unless it's, I think, has been proven, but people with severe autism, they are immune to advertising, right? But excluding that fact, let's say Ryan is a normal person. Every one of us is subject to being sold through emotion, right? And to be persuaded through emotions. And so when Ryan says, "Oh no, I'm hyperlogical," right? I don't respond to emotions and not to advertising, to emotional advertising. That decision he's making, saying, "Okay, I'm logical," is an emotional decision. At the core of that decision is his need to be perceived as a logical person, right? He might have his childhood trauma, whatever it is, and so he wants to be seen as this rock solid person, for example. But at the core of it, it's an emotional decision to be logical, right? It's always emotions, and marketers that try to fight against that will see how high their CPA is, but nevertheless. So we didn't see much of any emotions or any appeal to sentiments being used here, so they get a 2 out of 10. Conviction. They didn't move the sales forward much at all. They had their persuasion elements here and there. So conviction is the sum of trust plus desire. Trust plus desire equals conviction. So we saw some trust building elements, and we have to always keep in mind what is a subscriber lacking at this point to buy. Is it desire? Is it trust? Is it both? So right here in what I saw in this context of a category leading brand such as AG1, trust is higher than usual, right? Because people are coming through influencers, right? And it's one of those products where everyone who is considering buying it has heard it from multiple sources already, right? So trust is not much an issue. It's more of an issue about desire, getting people to want to buy these greens that's twice more expensive than the next brand. So it's a matter of desire. Get them to think, I want to buy this. Like, I want to buy this, and I want to buy this now, not tomorrow, not next day. So I didn't saw any of that into these emails, and any attempt at doing it was just too vague to actually say anything. Good God days ahead, right? What is a good God day supposed to look like in the life of Ryan? Or let's say we take the woman equivalent of Ryan, Ryanette, for example. What's good God days translated for Ryanette, right? I'm not seeing that here. And there are over 7 ways to build desire with email marketing. We break those down in Conviction OS, but there are one of those, it's called magnifying the mouse, in which you, rather than sell the mousetrap, you install the fear of bigger mouses, right? magnifying the mouse. And so the solution, the product becomes immediate. They have to buy the mousetrap, right? Because you have installed such a big fear of the mouse, right? That is one technique, 107. And none of those emails that I saw use that technique. So it's not getting people to want to buy this now. We already discussed how this is a prevention type of sale by default. So people are not buying this to solve an immediate problem. But if we know our customers really well, then we know that they do have urgent hot button crises. So for example, a recent blood test or a health scare. I don't know, they felt a pain in the chest, right? So if we can translate that and create some fear around that, a blood test, high cholesterol, they saw whatever. Do so with taste, of course. Every brand is different. But do so, then we are creating desire. We are moving the sales forward. And by the way, there are ways to do that, which we'll get to in a second, not specifically about magnifying the mouse, but there are ways to get away with saying things that the brand, as AG1, couldn't say it, by using text-based emails in which you introduce a person, someone from inside the brand, and they carry some of the same attributes of the brand, of course. It has to be aligned. But because they are humans, we allow them to have more flaws and have more of a personality and get away with saying things we couldn't say on a designed email, for example. So on that side, they get a 2 out of 10, didn't move the sales forward at all. Delivery. So delivery is how we say the thing. All of these steps let us know what to say. These are the steps 2 to 5 of Conviction OS. Step 6, the final step, is delivery. How to say the thing, right? Because we can, and comedians know this very well, the delivery of the joke matters as much as the joke itself, right? So we can know the perfect thing to say, and we are appealing to, let's say we are using magnifying the mouse and creating the fear of having just 10% higher cholesterol in your 40s, and that translates into, I don't know, like over 50% mortality rate later on. Whatever it is, just make that up. We can be saying the right thing and with taste and be super persuasive about it and appeal to a sentiment on how John didn't thought it was possible for him to have high cholesterol because he was an athlete and trained basically every other day. But ever since becoming a dad, he let himself go a little bit until he had to go and get a blood test done for work. And he saw that his cholesterol was super spiked, and the doctor told him, I don't know, you have 2 months to live. I don't know. But we could be saying the right thing. If we don't say it the right way, with the right delivery, and we, I don't know, borderline insult people, scream at them, so to speak, with our emails, then it won't matter. The email won't do anything to move the sales forward. It will just trigger readers' defenses up. They won't process it, right? The goal of an email is not only for them to read it, but to process it and digest it and let the words influence their behavior, change their behavior, right? So in terms of delivery, emails looked nice. They are only sending designed emails, so that's immediately a 5 out of 10 max. But then do those designed emails look good? Are they not triggering reader defenses up? I will give them a 4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10. Problem is, as we will see in a second, with the execution. So this gives us a total of 22, the highest we've achieved so far. And it is expected, right? AG1 is a behemoth. Next, we move into execution, the execution of the emails themselves. So we have an architecture, how the emails look like, and whether they have like a logical path, visuals, copy, cadence, originality. So with architecture first. In terms of visuals, because we can only got designed emails because they're not sending text-based emails at all. So designed emails, the architecture, emails look fine, right? They do have their logic, they have their call to actions, and yeah, they have just one path. They are optimized for mobile. We can know that immediately, right? So they can be read on mobile for the most part. So they get a 7 out of 10. In terms of visuals, emails are super simplistic, right? So that is not a bad thing, but because of that, they're not maybe getting people's attention, right? Which is also important. Make email feel slightly different in between them. So that subscribers realize, okay, this is a new email. They're saying something new here. I better pay attention. So the email looks good, on brand, all of that. Maybe too simplistic, right? They get a 7 out of 10. Copy, it was super vague, non-specific. I get they have their FDA complaints and they probably have their FDA on their ass. So yeah, they do have to be aware of that. But again, I think they went through the other extreme and purposely include some words that make no sense at all. They are not concrete at all. So someone reading, we already discussed this, but one of these sentence that doesn't mean anything at all. So they get a 4 out of 10. Cadence, how many emails they're sending. So if we can see this, I probably stopped receiving emails on the 26th because I went inside their unengaged segment because I didn't open any emails up to this point. And before that, they were sending like 3 to 4 emails per week. Just 2 emails this, 1 or 2 emails. So between 2 and 4 emails a week. So that is a nice cadence. Now, a brand like them with a subscriber list of, I'd say, hundreds of thousands can get away with a daily email and should get away with a daily email, provided the foundations are there and the execution is there. They can create emails that people look forward to receiving and they don't feel like spam at all. So because of that, they are getting a 7 out of 10. And originality, most emails felt the same way, felt very similar. I'm giving them a 4 out of 10 for a grand total of 29 out of 50, right? So in total, they get 51 out of 100, just 1 point above Transparent Labs, which is a supplement brand, which is 20 times smaller than them, I will guess. So something to keep in mind if there's anyone from AG1 watching this email. So something to keep in mind if there's anyone from AG1 watching this video. Now, let's see what my team created for them. So I had my team create 2 emails, already test them a little bit. Let's get started with the designed email right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections essentially. Let's read them. Ready to adopt your new #1 daily health habit. Take 10% off. So we are assuming this is going to an audience of non-buyers, right? Which if I was receiving these emails, I should be also receiving that type of email because I'm a non-buyer here with these emails, so I should be receiving non-buyer emails. But again, let's assume that as well. Then we have some trust building elements. It's supposed to be like a rotating GIF. Here's your welcome gift. That's a dynamic code. Use it to take 10% off your first order of athletic greens. Why over 50,000 health enthusiasts chose AG1? That is something I didn't see in previous emails, right? So, like actual numbers. All the juice in 1 scoop. AG1 has over 75 nutrients in 1 scoop, up to twice as much as the average greens powder. That is something I didn't see in other emails, because we say 75 plus nutrients. They said that in one of their emails, if you recall. But we have no point of comparison, right? So we're saying up to twice as much as the average greens powder. AG1 has all of these vitamins, minerals, prebiotics, probiotics, greens and superfood, antioxidants, stress adaptogens, digestive enzymes. Other brands will need a mix of over 2 to 5 different products to meet all of this. Clean greens guaranteed. AG1 is NSF certified, guaranteeing it's clean from banned substances and contaminants such as heavy metals, pesticides, and microbes. So this is important, right? This is kind of, again, amplifying the mouse. We are being very subtle about it because it's on brand, but it's doing that, getting people to care. Okay, it's at least planting a seed of thought into their brains, something the previous emails didn't do. And so then we have this warning right here, which I guess is done on purpose. So yeah, this is a sneaky one. We have a warning very big, then the other is super small. So like people assume this is like the typical warning, or like, yeah, like the thing that they have to include in supplements, right? This is not FDA approved, blah, blah, blah. Or something like FDA hasn't approved this, whatever, ingredients or claims, right? But we do something different. We say drinking non-NSF certified greens could mean you're unknowingly consuming these harmful chemicals, which have all been linked to long-term health risks like damage to your brain, kidneys, nervous system, and more. So I hadn't seen this email before, so I kudos to my team for pulling this out. This is magnifying the mouse done with taste, right? So kudos to them. Then we have I guess a trust building section. Trust by elite performers. Lewis Hamilton, most of our audience will recognize him, specifically our boy Ryan right here. I've been drinking AG1 every single day for years. That is the headline. Whenever you see a testimonial or review, we always use a headline to grabs people's attention, right? And it has to be, of course, one of the best, most curiosity-inducing part, or one of the most like benefit-creating sentences of the review. So he says, I've been drinking AG1 every single day for years. That's enough for someone who's skimming through the email to, again, like we are planting a seed. Even if they don't read the entire email, they see Lewis Hamilton photo, they read this, I've been drinking AG1 every single day for years. They associate him with a champion with AG1 and drinking AG1 every single day for years. Bam, we've won. Then we have a reminder for them to use their welcome code for 10% off. And then a simple on-brand call to action, get healthy, get AG1, like a tagline, which always helps with these type of brands. We always try to implement like a catchy tagline. And in this case, get healthy, get AG1. So I think this was properly executed. Of course, I'm super biased, but in terms of execution, the architecture would be, I would say, like an 8 out of 9. Visuals, again, highly biased, but this looks beautiful. So they get a 9. Copy, it's way more tangible. It says something, it means something. Cadence, not relevant. Originality. So this is ready to adopt your new #1 daily health habit. So it's like nothing out of the ordinary. As a whole, we have these sections which are beautiful, but I will give them still, because as a whole it looks different, like a 6 or 7. Let's say 7 because it's my video. 7 out of 10. Super biased, of course. Then we have the foundations. So the offer, we're using a 10% of discount. We could have used the omega-3 if we knew, like, okay, we can do that. So let's keep that. awareness, we are appealing to someone who is considering already other green supplement powders. We are saying, we are essentially conveying, if I buy AG1. Okay, now in the sentiment bar, we are doing a little cheating. This is an in-between. This video is sponsored by Conviction OS. And so we are doing a little cheating right now. We are using a soon to be published app and our operating system. So this is a preview. Let's say we are emailing subscribers who haven't purchased yet, and we are selling AG1. We are targeting the product aware stage, as we already discussed. And let's generate some emotions, right? Some sentiment which we could appeal in future emails, right? Not in this email, in future email. This is one that we already generated before. I'm scared that my health is slipping away and my future self will resent me for not acting now. That is powerful. Let's see which others we've generated. I'm scared that without these nutrients, I'll feel my health slipping away and I'll become a burden to my family. Okay, that is a strong one. Maybe that is appealing more towards an older demographics, which is not a bad thing, but not for Ryan in this video. I dread waking up more exhausted than when I went to bed, fearing that the vitality for life's simple joys is slipping away forever. That could be one. If I don't make a change now, I fear I'll be stuck watching life pass by while I'm on the sidelines. Okay, I'm anxious that without the right support, my efforts to stay healthy will crumble and I'll be left feeling helpless and directionless. So all super powerful emotions. Let's target this one in this case. I'm scared that my health is slipping away and my future self will resent me for not acting now. Then we have to attach a belief. What is that we want subscribers to believe as a result of reading the email, right? If we don't choose that, then they're going to choose a random belief on their own, or they won't choose anything, right? So for example, this is one. Investing in my health now is the only way to secure a future I won't regret. So let's go with that one. If we get them to believe that, then we get the sale. Simple as that. We'll get to this in a second. Now, sentiment. Conviction building. Conviction building elements. Again, this one is using magnifying the mouse here and did it in a very on taste and on brand in this case, which is super nice. It's also using another desire building mechanism, which is comparing, basically making all the alternatives irrelevant, and it's doing so in this section right here. So let's see what our app, which is work in progress by the way, says. So it's dramatic demonstrations, desire, just killing. We have magnifying the mouse example right here in strong guarantees combined with magnifying the mouse. Highlight AG1's money back guarantee prominently while intensifying the email's focus on the long-term health risk of inaction and position AG1 as a simple, reliable step to avert those fears. This approach reassures the subscribers with a safety net while making the pain of inaction more tangible. This is a smart approach. Again, we're selling, if we don't do this, we are selling prevention. And it's really hard to sell prevention. And insurance agents know this very well. It's super hard to sell prevention, something that is not tangible, something that you don't see right this second. When you have all of this list of services, purchases, things you could be spending your money on, why focus on something that is 20 years from now? We have to make this tangible, make it matter now, today. And so that is what we are doing here with this combination, which I really liked. And finally, let's use our app to create a delivery mechanism, the right way to say the thing that we want to say. We already choose what to say in our previous steps. This one is going to tell us how to say it. We have why you might be feeling like Thanos right now. That's a good one. what haunts you about your health, the nightmare email, the transformational story email, how John transformed his future with one change. John's once feared where his health habits will lead him. Today he wakes up full of energy thanks to one change. A transformational story that vividly paints a picture of both the problem, health fear, and the solution, using AG1 for better health. This format not only aligns with the subscribers' belief about investing in health, but also provides a hopeful and inspiring outcome, encouraging action, right? All in all, this will be a proper email. So this is the Conviction-Wise app. You saw it here first. It's soon to be released. But anyway, back to our conviction scores. In terms of conviction delivery, yes, I will still this creating conviction through magnifying the mouse right here. And the delivery, well, it's a designed email, but at least looks nice, looks on brand. And yeah, I'm giving it the maximum a designed email can achieve. No, not giving it the maximum. We could have used different elements here to make it more eye-catchy. Maybe even go off-brand a little bit with different color palette while still being on brand. Or we could have used EBIs, entertaining big ideas, which is a concept I explain in how to create emails that sell. It's one of the 23 principles that we've used to create high converting emails, right? Entertaining big ideas. Yeah, so it's not the maximum score by any means. So that is the designed email. But what about the text-based email? We use text-based emails a lot in Email Engineers because they let us say things that designed emails cannot. Because it's hard for a brand to talk like a human without it feeling weird, right? And number two, it's hard for a designed email from a brand to not raise readers' defenses up and trigger that I'm being installed to like block inside their heads that prevents us from being persuasive and in them digesting what we have to say. Again, it's not only enough to say a thing. With our emails, we want to get those ideas digested so they process it, get influenced by them. So this is a text-based email coming from Sarah from the AG1 team. Let's read it now. Subject line, read this before buying any greens powder. AG1. Did you know your green powders could be lying to you? Let me explain. See, if you're anything like me, your health isn't just a hobby. It's a lifestyle. Your routine, your supplements, your workouts, they're not just about checking boxes. They're about getting better every day. More energy to crush your mornings, more resilience in your immune system, more quality years added to your lifespan so you can play with your grandchildren. You're building a foundation for long-term performance. That's why this might come as a shock. See, the FDA has shown that 68% of US dietary supplements use proprietary blends. This basically means their label shares the ingredients inside, but not the actual dosage. What does this actually mean for us? Well, it could mean that we're paying for greens powders that sound impressive, that boast about their ingredients, only the doses might just be too low to actually be effective and do anything at all. It's like ordering a protein shake only to have no idea how much protein is inside. Kind of defeats the point. And here's the thing, with these proprietary blends, there's no way to actually know. Maybe the dose is good, maybe it's not. And for us, the types who actually take our health seriously, that's a non-negotiable. I mean, imagine dialing in every part of our health, eating clean every single day and every single meal, never missing a workout, only to pay for a supplement that doesn't help at all. Such a waste. And that's exactly why we walk the extra mile with AG1, to make sure you actually get what you pay for. See, AG1 is certified by the NSF, the highest level of quality testing available in America. This certification guarantees that all ingredients to the exact grams are present and verified in every single AG1 batch. And these ingredients, well, just look. That's me on the AG1 trip to the southern island of New Zealand. We traveled to over 10 different countries to find the most bioavailable types of the 75 nutrients in our blend. Basically meaning the forms of the nutrients that our body absorbs and uses best. And it shows. In third-party testing, AG1 users had a 10 times increase in healthy bacteria in the gut after just 3 months of use. This means you actually get what you pay for. Greens that work. Now, this does mean that we had to price AG1 higher than most brands. And if you think about it, it makes sense. A green that has the best ingredients, certified by the NSF, can't be as cheap as the rest. And hey, we get it. AG1 might not fit everyone's budget. That's why we create our subscription packages. They allow you to take up to 20% off every order of AG1. A perfect way to get your daily greens without having to break the bank. If you want to learn more about it, just click below. Shop AG1. Hope this helps. Sarah, the AG1 team. So, can you feel the difference between an email like this and an email like, I don't know, this one? Simple fact, AG1 costs less than $3 a day. It's showing versus telling, right? We've all heard that advertising principle. Show, don't tell. This is telling. This is telling me, okay, it's $3 a day. What is that supposed to mean? Why should I care? This gets me to care. This makes that $3 a day thing tangible. It explains why this is more expensive and it's very believable. So this is a proper high converting emails, which I'm sure would convert 2, 3, 5 times better than an email like this. I'm confident because we've sent thousands of this. This is a proper email, and this is an email AG1 could send any day and get sales. So that is the beautiful of conviction building emails like this one. They do not rely on discounts to get sales. Instead, they rely on different ways to create desire and different ways to create trust to get this sale. It's a world of difference, and it's not relying on discounts. So this is a proper email, in my opinion. Again, super biased, but my team made it, so I'm kind of proud. So there you have it. AG1 still ranks first across all of the 3 brands we have broken down so far. But for a brand of their size, I will expect them to have at least a 70 conviction score, at least 70 and higher, right? They are leaving so much money on the table, which is why I say that if I run AG1's emails, I make them $5.5 million more in 30 days, right? Anyway, if you want to learn more about conviction-wise, the strategy that we use, there's going to be a link that explains and breaks it down. A link so you can see this now. It's in YouTube. You can see that video. And then you will understand the 6 steps that we use to create high converting emails like this one. Time after time after time after time. I am Matt Pirelli, founder of Email Engineers. We are helping 7 and 8 figure e-commerce brands scale their email marketing when other teams or other agencies couldn't do it by following conviction-wise. It's been a pleasure having you here today. Talk soon.